preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
JJ, Jeff, you want to kick this thing off? Because I'm still trying to process everything here.
Yeah, it's like,
who wants to go first?
Well,
Come on in. It's open mic night with your host.
you could maybe say there's really 4 topics, but it's split into 6.
The Renegade, JJ Williams.
The Sammy and Eddie Kingston thing, which one's the better smelling turd?
And his panel of co-hosts.
I am the founder. We'll call me that for today since we're going with the Jeff Jarrett love theme here this week, according to JJ.
The West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham.
Karma is karma is karma.
That's professional wrestling! Damn it!
The Simple Man, Noah Foster.
It's showtime! Yeah! How you doing, JJ? How you doing, Jeff?
James.
Yeah.
And the He-Man, James Hebert.
Imagine Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Paul White, the Baldies. There you go. It sells itself. Get in there.
Short his ass and shit the bed.
He's not Amber Heard.
Give it time, JJ. Give it time.
No, I'm sure Jeff has some stuff that
Dumb move. Just don't pull this bullshit again. You get one.
Tony needs to stop caring about the ratings.
Bradshaw said as long as the ads are in place, we're not going to lose that third hour.
Ring of Honor does not have to be AEW Live. They don't necessarily have to coexist with each other. We kind of saw that tonight to a degree.
Along with a panel of guests.
He's no longer glorious. Don't you bring that up. You want me to rant about what my NXT used to... No, we are done here for the night. I swear, James.
Because you never know who may show up for open mic night.
I leave our company in the capable hands of an extraordinary group of superstars, employees, and executives.
The first thing that came to my mind was, it's about damn time.
Amen.
I literally touched everybody in the state's trash. It's horrible, you guys.
Peyton's new thing is Dennis the Menace, but it's funny because she calls it Dentist the Medicine.
That's great.
When Elliot Taylor came out and did Born for Greatness live, I was popping my pussy, having a great time. I didn't care. I was having so much fun.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Fuck Bill Belichick.
Oh my God! Go there. How to do the friggin' football thing. We ended on wrestling, and then you bring in that shit. That's just how the thing goes off the damn rails. Brilliant, bloody brilliant.
What What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Open Mic Night. I am, of course, your host and moderator, the man who somehow has a voice and has been coughing through the last 4 hours. But damn it, that's my dedication and love for you guys. I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, your host and moderator. Let's bring in the rest of the team. First of all, the man who masterfully called all of the shenanigans that just ensued. The man who patiently dealt with not just me, but a third party stepping over him at different points tonight because the action was just so chaotic. It is what it is, but it was still much better than last year. The simple man with the spectacular voice, Noah Foster. What is going on, sir? What's going on to your buddy Paul? I see him in the background there.
Hey, he says, "Hey, Paul."
I said, "What's up?"
He says up. He was here for the whole thing, and whew, holy hell, that was quite a show, quite a ride to say the least. And I think overall we had a great chemistry and a great time. I hope everybody enjoyed the call and enjoyed the time as well. There were definitely some moments where I almost got out of my skin, but that's what happens when you love this business so much and you're a fan of it. So I'm feeling great. My voice is still pretty much intact, as you could hear, and here we are with our postseason show, as always, post-session of Open Mic Night. So I'm looking forward to this simple conversation as I update the leagues, because you know me, I'm a man of few words when it comes to certain conversations. But I'm always happy to bring my voice forward towards the shenanigans that are ahead and what shenanigans you might try to make official here too. Good to see y'all once again. Let's see what we can still do. And the fact that we're starting Open Mic Night an hour later than usual, because this is one of the longest WPLEs I can remember. If you look at the clock, folks, this should be interesting. Could be a long Open Mic Night. Could be one of the short Open Mic Nights. Only time will tell.
Well, I'm definitely hoping to keep it about normal, midnight, no later than 12:30 on our side. So 3:30 your side.
Mm-hmm.
I've only got 3 topics for us to cover. I know our main event is going to be what it is. Hopefully we'll have more participation from you, unless sunglasses Noah goes dark, but it just kind of depends the way the conversation curves. What do you think about Daniel's point here real quick? Hoping that the rematch doesn't have the stipulation that if Cody loses, he can't challenge Roman for the title again. Kind of piggybacking on what happened to him in AEW.
Exactly. That would be such a red herring, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V. But here in WWE's case, I'm calling it right now. If they don't let Cody, the cover star of WWE2K24, where a mode is called Finish the Story, finish his actual story and win that championship, despite all the extra accessories, I don't know what I'm going to do post-WrestleMania with my WWE take, JJ. I'm at my breaking point because, in my opinion, why else would you give Cody Rhodes the back-to-back wins and our back-to-back literal situation? Adding on more than just traditional match foundation almost leads believe we want to believe that Cody will succeed, or you're giving it to us on a silver platter. And what it needs to happen, it should be 100% genuine and natural. There shouldn't be no crazy stipulation put into play, because I can't imagine Cody Rhodes not challenging for this title while Roman Reigns is still champion at this point. This has got to be it. This has got to be the end game. No.
That's fair.
No.
I don't see a crazy stipulation like that being put into play. The craziest I could see it going would be a special referee of an electrifying nature to make sure that things go off without a hitch.
Yes.
Which could then lead to their match come next year, because Rock is a long-term story guy. Roman only shows up 7 times a year, so, it just kind of works for itself.
It does.
Let's get the rest of the staff in here. Really quickly, Jeff did pop in the chat room, says he's still in set with Paradise Kitty, but as soon as they're done, he will pop in as soon as possible. Congrats to all, and he loves us crazies. Thank you, Jeff, for stopping in real quick. Your girl Arlene says that she's proud to have picked Cody as her number 1 pick. So the next person we're going to bring in was the third man of the team tonight, the man with the stats, Stat Boy Mike. What is going on, good sir?
Wow. That's all I can say. First and foremost, I want to thank my brothers for giving me another chance. I will apologize if I did step over you guys. I didn't mean to. I wanted to do better. Thank you for saying that I did.
Yeah.
But what's even more sad now is in the break that we just did in between the Rumble and what we're doing now, there's still more work to be done because now I have the crazy idea of putting out 60 different tweets to each WWE superstar that was in the Royal Rumble, hoping just one, and I don't care which one it is. I want one repost. I want one response. Just one. That's all it could be Chelsea Green for all I care, and I would be happy about it. Putting their individual stats out on social media.
Definitely.
I mean, forget about finishing the story. I'm continuing this book of Royal Rumble stuff because I cannot stop. And my weekend is not over yet either. I've got one more day when I say my shills of what's going on tomorrow. This Stat Boy is going to be dead dog tired when he goes to work on Monday. I'll tell you that right now. But overall, again, I just want to say I love my family and thank you so much.
Absolutely, Mike. Been a pleasure, and again, arguably in the history of this network, guys, this was the best Royal Rumble call we've ever done. And also, as far as this goes, hope everybody enjoyed the call and enjoyed the show. I definitely see the positive proof in the chat. And again, it truly was about the numbers, and history was made in quite a number of ways tonight. So this is a very enjoyable PLE. And again, thank you, Triple H and HBK, for making, especially for me, the Royal Rumble truly matter once again, and not just be one-dimensional. This was tremendous.
Absolutely. Yeah, don't apologize, Stat Boy. Stepping on each other is bound to happen. No matter how polished you are, it's going to happen. Even when it's just me and Noah, we do it occasionally. So when you add that third man element, you're bound to get it. Plus, there's always the possibility of a slight delay and lag on certain people's side. It was fine. You know, you mentioned finishing the story. I'm not able to hear a lot of what's going on, but I do have the press conference going. Bailey has already spoken, and now Cody Rhodes is at the table.
Oh, boy.
So you want to talk about finishing the story. The press conference, for anyone that's interested, begins with our 2 Rumble winners. Bailey looking to finish her story, whatever that may be as far as damage control goes. And Cody Rhodes, man, finishing the story has been his mantra since his return at WrestleMania 2 years ago. Bring in the last person we've got in the green room waiting to come in. Emmanuel, I did see your $10 super chat. Since it's more Vince related, I will get to that when we get to the Vince topic. Let's bring in Mr. Reliable.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Reliable.
Perfect.
Thank you very much for that.
I know how much you love that entrance, man. It's kind of like doing the man, the myth, the legend, the West Coast professor, Jeff motherfucking Meacham. Like,
exactly.
It's that type of entrance.
And it's over the 5-minute mark, so it is perfectly monetarily legal.
Exactly.
That's why our intros are as long as they are. So we get past that 5-minute mark before we even hit the screen.
All right. Well, anyway, as you all continue this introduction stuff, I'm going to start scoring the team graph because good God almighty.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to visit wardrobe real quick.
It's all good. What are your overall thoughts on the Rumble before we get into the first actual topic?
Awesome. It was fun. Love the coverage. Love popping in and out of there. Thanks for that. The women's one, flowed beautifully. It was they set the precedent for the rest of the night, and Noah mentioned it on stream. The men's timer seemed to be quicker than 2 minutes. It just flowed differently. Like it seemed like it was quicker than the 2 minutes. I don't know.
It was
People in the
90
chat were
seconds.
saying-
Both Rumbles were 90 seconds. Oh, shit. DDP is in the crowd at the press conference asking a question to Cody Rhodes.
How fitting.
Sitting
Bang.
right next to Chris Van Vliet.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised Paige wasn't in the Rumble. I had seen a video of him backstage on WWE's Twix account.
Same.
I actually thought he might have been a surprise entrance. I was waiting for the bang.
Yeah.
But
Not
sorry,
the
I didn't mean to
smile.
step on you there, but just seeing Paige pop up. Go ahead, Walter.
No problem. Yeah, I'd rather the bang old WCW kind of, not this smiling DDP, which it was the happy-go-lucky guy. Ugh, I couldn't stand that gimmick.
Okay, I believe in positively Paige.
I
We're
positively
trying to wait and see if I end up believing in Joe Hendry.
Yes!
But I believe in positively Paige.
Positively. Absolutely.
But I agree. The women set the precedent as far as the Rumble goes, and I feel like their Rumble match was better.
Agree.
The Cody thing, I understand wanting to have the final moment where he could point up to Roman in the box and everything, but the women's match overall, they Shawn Michaels to that shit.
Oh,
They
bar none.
gave that Rumble match and then follow that, motherfuckers. And I'm sorry, but I don't think that the WWE Championship followed that. It was good. But if you really think about it, Roman Reigns' match was a fucking cool-down match.
It was.
Think about that for a second.
It fucking was.
Because they realized people were kind of tired of his reign already.
It took this long for people to fucking realize that? Jeez.
But yeah,
And I think if the
congratulations
men's
to the
Rumble
both
had
winners.
had more surprises, I think it would have been as good as the women's, if not better.
Especially the kind of surprises the women had, like TNA Knockouts Champion comes out like 2 years in a row. Because what didn't Mickey James, or was that 2 years ago? Where Mickey
It was
had
2 years ago, as I said. It was
Yeah.
Mickey James wearing the Impact Knockouts World Championship.
Yeah, that was 2021 or 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
So WWE can have their own kind of forbidden door with TNA.
Right?
I
mean,
I don't believe it more
they've
than
got
ever.
Multiverse United twice a year. And WWE's got the Worlds Collide. And you just got banned, Mama Pam. Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
I didn't do it.
Wow.
I can't see the chat, so I don't even know what happened.
Don't worry about
Bot,
it.
maybe.
3, 1, 4.
So, all right. Gonna get down to things. First topic, first big news that came out this week was WWE Raw going to Netflix starting in January of next year. Now, something interesting that came out post that, and I don't know if you guys saw this report, but the Raw, as far as USA, is supposed to end their deal the end of September. So that's roughly 3 months where there's not going to be a home for Raw.
Yes.
Unless they find a temporary home, that's going to bring an end to the longest weekly episodic show in television history. Because there'll be 3 months where it's not on television.
Yes.
Even if they just move it strictly to streaming, they can keep that going. But they've got to come up with something. We'll start with Noah because I know he's kind of multitasking. That way he can get back to what he's doing as the rest of us talk. What are your thoughts about WWE Raw moving to Netflix? And where do you think they can go in the short term, whether it's just a 3-month extension with USA until the Netflix deal starts, or seeing if CW would be willing to carry it, or just doing it live on the Peacock app, like a PLE. What are your thoughts there?
It's a weird situation considering the 3-month span, I would imagine, would be, end game. And the only thing I see of matter happening during that time is Survivor Series. So with the PLEs already on the Peacock, I could actually see them doing Monday Night Raw through streaming live weekly on the Peacock app as its own sub-channel per se. Just, in the short run, it's weird to think that the longest weekly running episodic television show in history no longer is on television. It is strictly on streaming platforms. I think just because of that short spiel, it's like how much they did the impromptu $9.99 promotion, and how many times can you put the word Netflix out there or spam it on our screen or the LED boards of the ring and enforce the idea of, you want to keep watching this show, you got to go to Netflix for it. I think they use the Peacock, honestly. I think that this is their best avenue because it's not like they're spending any more money than they need to. Whether or not they're willing to give USA that 3-month as a post thank you remains to be seen. But I think use Peacock for it, that personally, because people are so founded now with WWE content now on that. And from one streaming service to another, I think it's like cross-promoting in a way. So I think Peacock's the way to go. And as far as them going to Netflix, that's a really unique first, I think, because why Netflix has done shows like House of Cards, for example, and done like the whole series and added like live TV. Netflix has never really given anything as far as a constant live weekly ongoing experience. And this will be the first time they would have to do that because that's what Raw's always been. But what Netflix allows, it allows more exposure. It allows more attention because Netflix is globally known literally on every front that has some sort of way to connect to VPN or the internet. So the possibilities for audience and viewership are unmatched versus anything else in television history. I think it's like, honestly, the holy grail of airing weekly WWE content because there's no telling how far it can reach out. So I think Netflix probably, or just a streaming service of its own pursuit, is the highest echelon WWE can go with their own content without recreating their own WWE network. So I think it's a tremendously huge, and again, goes to show that WWE truly is bigger than ever, and they truly are global localizing their content. I don't think you can get any higher than Netflix at this point. But that being said, I also don't think you get any bigger risk with Netflix. There's already been backlash with the fact they've raised their price and eliminated one of their plans. So again, we've always said it. Is WWE too big to fail? Absolutely not. But putting all your money into this where Netflix even can give you the boot after 5 years, I do hope they have a fallback plan. But honestly, it could be the greatest investment in WWE history for content. Because if the WWE Network was its own platform, and they couldn't stream Raw just to it, maybe based on what they do at Netflix, that brings the WWE Network back, and truly WWE becomes legitimately its own true network for you to buy and be fulfilled with. I think Netflix might actually be the initial step towards establishing a permanent WWE network. And whether or not it's within Netflix or Netflix the launching pad, that remains to be seen. But I do find it very intriguing. It's honestly WWE's biggest investment to date. Whether it's a risk or it's worth the price remains to be seen.
All very fair and valid points. I apologize for being off screen right now. I'm finally eating my dinner.
I don't blame you.
You could make
he might
the
be
argument.
having technical difficulties, so you might want to pass it to whoever you want to speak next.
You may. I was going to say something.
Oh, okay.
Or you could make the argument that Netflix is actually in more homes than the USA Network at this point.
Exactly.
Mikey, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, initially I said on Sports Bar and on your other breaking news earlier this week, Initially, my number one thought was bad idea, because a lot of people don't have Netflix accounts like I don't. But with who knows what the future will bring with that. As I look more into it, I'm open to it. I'm not saying it's the worst. It's not the worst idea ever. You got to give it a chance. You can't just flat out say no. This is horrible and rotten and all that. But also another thing that I thought of was, when you think of streaming wrestling, you really don't think of Netflix, because Netflix, I think of movies and television shows. You don't really think of sports. So we don't know where it's going to go. We still have a year for this to take place. As far as the USA thing going on, I haven't seen anything official lately, that USA is going to end their deal. Or see, I'm anti-business. I've said this many times. I get upset when I'm watching DirecTV and my channel is blocked out because of the contract expired or whatever. I'm paying for cable and I don't get to watch a channel. So I have to find a different way to watch a show. I'm going to give it a chance. Hopefully by January 2025, I'll have a Netflix account of my own. And, a lot of people do have Netflix over cable. That's a topic too. I mean, do you stream or do you actually watch television? I can agree with the put Raw on Peacock for 3 months. Give Peacock the last hurrah, the last huzzah before Netflix takes over for Raw anyway. I'm still learning about this deal because, with everything that's happened with the Rumble, I'm not really paying attention to everything else. Is it just going to be Raw? Is it going to be PLEs? Nick Khan was on ESPN the other day. I need to write this stuff down and remember it. Don't make this horrible snap judgment at this the worst thing over, and give it a chance and let it cook.
To my understanding, the PLEs will still be on the Peacock app. It is only Raw that'll be on Netflix.
Okay.
Unless you live outside the U.S., then everything will be on Netflix. Walter, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's what a world we live in, where we have to discuss stuff like that. That everything. Who knew TV would get taken over by all these streaming apps?
I welcome the internet overlords.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Hulu does show replays of like Raw and SmackDown the next day after they air. So maybe you can work out a deal with Hulu Live, showing the last 3 months of the deal from the USA on Hulu as a deal with them, or like most people are jumping on the Peacock. But what you can do is you can do it on Peacock and then simultaneously work out a deal with Netflix, where Netflix says we're giving people 3 months free trials to try to ring in the new subscribers that aren't subscribed that might jump to Netflix because of wrestling. So you do a 3 month free trial. You work out a deal with Netflix, airs these Raws for those 3 months under a free trial rules, because WWE Network was notorious for, hey, you want this pay-per-view? $9.99 is the WWE app, and they always gave you a free trial. I think it was like a month at a time or something like that. So Netflix will work out a deal where they give everybody 3 months free to try to hook those people that aren't subscribed yet, who are big wrestling fans, to subscribe to Netflix, to then be loaded with all the other content, and then they're permanent subscribers to Netflix because of wrestling, but for everything else as well. So, I mean, that's how business works. You work together to hook new people in. You think of outside of the box ways. So why not give those 3 months free? You do it on Netflix. It doesn't count towards the contract. They shouldn't have to pay for it. You just work out a deal with WWE, and you offer free trials to try to hook new customers to Netflix. So, I mean, there's several ways to go about this. So But the world we live in, so we'll see what 2025 has to bring us. And then on top of all that, things that we're not mentioning is it just says Raw coming to Netflix. Doesn't actually say Monday Night Raw. So there's another twist that we don't know what's going to happen with Raw. Like, is it still going to be on Mondays? So there's a lot of more little trinkets in here than we know. So it's going to be interesting to see what's coming.
And Netflix offers more flexibility towards the WWE content as well, which also works, I think, in favor of the consuming public that might not be able to catch it on Monday night or, might want to pick it on a different day. I think, again, Netflix offers more flexibility and availability. At the end of the day, that can only be an initial outlook, a strength. It just comes down to the long haul. Does it work out?
Exactly.
Something else to think about is with cable being a dying medium these days.
Yeah.
You almost have to be a dedicated wrestling fan to want to pay for cable. Because you can watch just about everything else on some kind of streaming app.
Yep.
So that means that there's people out there that don't currently have cable or may not have USA as part of their plan that could already have Netflix. That's a whole new demographic you're bringing in.
Yeah.
We talk about growing audiences. We talk about trying to bring back in casual fans. We talk about the ratings, which aren't what they used to be. But by switching over to this platform, number one, the ratings are going to be dead.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, anybody that wants to talk about ratings come January 2025 can go take a fucking jump off the Grand Canyon. Because ratings don't mean jack diddly fucking shit anymore.
In the immortal words of The Rock, it doesn't matter!
But at the same time, while you don't get ratings on a normal standard, Netflix does generally release how many people watched something in the week it dropped or the day it dropped. They'll put out sometimes that, the brand new Adam Sandler movie, because he does have an exclusive deal with Netflix for X amount of people or movies. The brand new Adam Sandler movie that dropped on Netflix did 32 million views in its opening week. Respectable. Is it a box office smash? No. But they put that type of numbers out there, so you still get a general idea of how many people are watching the show and the movie without having to worry about, it did a 1.7 in this demographic, and shut the fuck up. We're all over that shit.
Yeah.
But I feel like it being on Netflix could bring in more of the casuals, bring back some of the lost fans that have stopped paying for cable, and especially with, when we get to our second topic, The Rock being a part of the board of directors for TKO, he's probably going to start appearing a little bit more regularly because his pay, they don't have to pay him a per appearance fee anymore. He's part of the board of directors, so they don't have to pay him per appearance. He's part of the company. So seeing The Rock on a consistent basis on a weekly television show on Netflix, one of the highest paid, biggest grossing actors in Hollywood today, and I don't have to pay for cable anymore? And we can maybe go back to a more mature product because we don't have to worry about what we can and can't say on cable television.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about advertisers as much on Netflix. So
possibly, possibly. Well, while I don't think we'll have the traditional commercial breaks, I think we may start seeing more C4, Slim Jim type of sponsorships integrated into matches to kind of offset that some. As much as I dislike it, I'd rather have that in a backstage segment where, you know, Natalya and Tegan Knox are talking to Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, and there's stacks of Gatorade visible. I'd rather have that as opposed to missing 2.5 minutes of the match because I'm watching commercials.
Good old product placement.
Or even like I said on the air, the one thing I didn't like about the first episode of Impact I watched, missing the outcome of a match because we were on commercial break.
Yeah.
Who does that? Or why does that happen? Don't they know that time is precious?
Badly timed. Either it was on the Access side or on the TNA side.
Yeah,
but they were on commercial and the Grizzled Young Veterans match ended.
Yep.
So I didn't get to see how it ended. I saw the moments afterwards where Frankie turned on EY, but I didn't get to see the outcome of the match. So I wish, Matthew, I wish. Triple H is at the table now for anyone watching the press conference. He did mention Jordan Grace. So that's big, having him mention her at the conference.
Grace did tweet that this won't be the only time that we'll see her.
I hope not. I think that would be awesome. Well, that is it for the first topic. We will take a brief commercial break. And when we come back, we'll start talking about The Rock being appointed to the board of directors of TKO. We will be back after this.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
And we're back. That is where you can find all of us across the multiverse of media on our socials, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, you name it, YouTube. We have a presence on all of those. Twitch. I know that Datilla is on Twitch. As a matter of fact, we're streaming on her Twitch right now. Shout out to Datilla for allowing us to do that. We also did the PLE watch along on her Twitch. So the next topic, of course, we briefly touched on it. The most electrifying man in all of entertainment, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, being appointed to the TKO Board of Directors. Not only did he get appointed to the Board of Directors, but as a part of the deal, he got the rights to the Rock name back. Unprecedented. So anything he does in his career now, he can use the Rock and not have to pay WWE. Walter, we'll start with you first on this one, and then we'll swing up to Noah.
All right. Well, before I start, I don't want to misquote anybody. So her actual tweet said, "Thank you at WWE Universe, Jordan Grayson speaking of. This won't be the last you'll see of at This Is TNA." So she didn't imply it would be herself, but that you won't see, last time you won't see TNA involved with WWE.
Excitement level. Intrigued.
So I wanted to correct myself before I put misinformation out there.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Wish more internet journalists did that, but I digress on that one.
JJ, damn.
So
come on, Noah. JJ has no filter. He says what he means.
I respect that,
You
but come
damn
on.
right I do. You damn right I do. And as a matter of fact, before we let Walter go on further, I just want to put this up there for him.
Oh, yeah.
All right, calm down. Seriously.
You got to give me that at WrestleMania.
You chill with the calm down. No one's drooling over how they look, Noah. You look me dead in my eyes and tell me you don't want to see this match.
Of course I want to see this match. That's professional wrestling, damn it.
Then don't tell us to calm down then. No one's talking about
Yeah. All right, I'm making sure you both are in context. I know you and I know you. Anyway, continue.
I would go as far as to say that's a night 2 match. That's a night 2 match, I'll go as far as to say.
I agree. That needs to be on the main night.
Yeah, let's be honest here. The main night is night 2. The night 1's like, here's your taste of top quality, and then night 2 is supposed to raise that, maybe doesn't raise that, but this year might pleasantly surprise you. That's how I feel about WrestleMania 39, because night 1 was practically perfect. If only they moved a fucking triple threat. Anyway, continue.
So as far as I know, The Rock owned some of his name before, like the Man of the Hour we'll talk about in the third. Let him have that name. He was able to use it. I don't know how much of it he owned. I don't know, but now we know he owns completely 100% of The Rock. So this is awesome. Any other Rock, you'll hear The Rock more often. You don't have to hear Hollywood actor Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You might not have to hear it broken down that much. You could just see The Rock on big movie screens, big things that he do, which brings more eyes to WWE when he has a Netflix movie drop. He exclusively to Netflix, you'll see The Rock on it, which would draw more eyes to what we talked about in the top with one to Monday. Well, let me not say Monday. Raw on Netflix. So this just works out perfectly. And then the story with Roman Reigns. Like, he's the head of the table, figuratively, a figurative table. And now The Rock has a seat at an actual table as the board, on the board. He literally is at a table. He might not be the head seat at the table, but he's literally at a table. So, and the way he said that on when he appeared, talking about that, should he sit at the head of the table? Now he's TKO. And don't think it's not lost on me that the same week he gets named as his daughter becomes the youngest general manager of NXT. But that's a hell of a coincidence if you're gonna call that a coincidence. Don't think this ain't all come part of the deal. So don't let them think you stuck that past me, WWE. All of a sudden his daughter becomes the general manager of NXT the same Tuesday after this is announced. That
coincidental to say the least.
Exactly. But man, this is good news for The Rock. More money in his pocket, I'll tell you that. And now the Netflix exclusive movies. I think he has a deal, right? They did with Netflix with his movies.
Yeah, he's got a little deal with them. I don't know if it's exclusive or not, but I know he's got a few pictures with them.
Yeah, so that just is all this comes together, man. More eyes in WWE through The Rock, and and the combination he did with the XFL and the is it the Canadian Football League or the American Football League that he combined it with the Stat Boy?
The USFL.
USFL.
Thank you.
Rock's got everything. Everything's coming up the Rock 2024 over. He struck the jackpot figuratively and literally. So go Rock. That's all I can say. You can't knock the man's hustle. And now this gives him a break. He doesn't necessarily have to go into movie after movie after movie, and he can get a break to get into that ring shape to give us the match that we want to see. So this can possibly free up his schedule. He may be a little busier with board of directors stuff, but it doesn't force him to keep making more involved in so many movie projects. So we'll see what happens with him.
Agreed. Mikey?
Again, I'm not the best guy when it comes to business stuff. So, I would still want to meet Mr. Dwayne Johnson. I mean, I would call him The Rock no matter what, but, I'm not meeting the People's Champ. I'm not meeting the Brahma Bull. I'm meeting an executive. So, I would give him his proper title and his proper respect. He's putting in the work, so I just don't want to see him work himself into the ground, because that's just he is a hard worker. The toughest worker in the room is not just a catchphrase with him. The hardest worker in the room is not just a catchphrase; it's reality. So, I mean, it'll make him even more humble too, because I don't know if he'll be approachable, but when he does nice things, for like when he goes through a drive-through or whatever, you get Dwayne. When he's doing interviews, you get Dwayne. I'm surprised though he hasn't said anything about the next topic that's coming up, either because it's too new or we're focused on Royal Rumble stuff right now. So, and he'll get his say finally, and his say will finally mean a little bit more, because, he's an executive. He's at that high level. When he was, just a worker, you could say something, and depending on the people above you, that is where it goes. Let's do this, or let's do this, or let's do this. Kid, you don't know nothing. You're on the bottom level. You got to put in the work. Now he can go up to he's on the top. Oh, let's do this. Boom, done. It works now because he's done the work. He's had the experience. So, big ups to you, Mr. Johnson, sir. I mean, well done. You deserve it. You definitely deserve your name. I am glad that's just one small piece of the pie that the overall TKO WWE endeavor can't get a hold of, because let's face it, they're going to make enough money as it is. So, kudos for you, man. Keep up the work and enjoy the fruits of your labor.
All right, before I throw it over to Noah, I want to take a moment to thank everybody watching, as we do have someone watching on every platform we're streaming on right now. We greatly appreciate it. Just a reminder, if you guys want to dictate the conversation or want to try to embarrass or humiliate someone here, super chat. We did kind of tease last night, Noah, that we may try to get you to sing something for Arlene. I'm thinking in honor of the winner tonight. Not Kingdom, because you've already gotten to do that, but what about doing Smoke and Mirrors?
Oh boy.
Why?
$20 super chat. No, $25 super chat, because that's the pick your person and your song tier. $25 super chat. Noah will see dashing Cody Rhodes, smoke and mirrors tonight. Emmanuel, if you're still in the chat room, let Arlene know so that she can come and contribute if she'd like to hear that. Maybe we can even do a mashup and you can do a little smoke and mirrors, a little kingdom, kind of break the two down. But while we wait and see if we get any biters in that, the Rock Board of Directors, Noah, your thoughts?
It's interesting considering The Rock's influence in the entertainment industry. And TKO right now is the branch between combat sports and sports entertainment that bridges the world of sports and entertainment. And The Rock, who literally has done everything in and out of cinema and WWE, it's almost like he's the perfect bridge, the perfect spokesperson, the perfect guy to lead or help influence this business venture. I mean, hell, you figure about it again. Scorpion King is when The Rock went Hollywood, but The Rock was originally made in WWF, WWE. After the smile went away, became part of Nation Domination, went corporate, and the rest is history. And he became the People's Champion, the most electrifying star of all sports entertainment. And he also brought life back to the XFL that was a flop after its initial call. So he's got the outlook, the passion, he's got the resume, he's got definitely the regimen to handle this. But it also offers him more flexibility. And at the end of the day, it also offers more exposure to the WWE. I mean, let's not forget, Triple H and The Rock define a rivalry for a generation. And these two now literally lead the company and are part of the biggest business merger in recent history. I think it definitely contributes a lot more to the public outlook of the WWE, where it doesn't feel so one-dimensional. It feels like sports entertainment has a bigger scope. And with The Rock as the guy on the business side, promoting and maybe influencing, if we're being perfectly honest here, and Triple H already with the know-how, the passion, and the history of just this business itself, it almost feels like an unstoppable combination. I guess the biggest thing for me is how this affects The Rock's Hollywood obligations. And like you said, it does mean that I would think now he doesn't need to fulfill, like it's made, Hollywood requirements, or he isn't as restrained. Then again, I wonder how much that goes, even if he owns his own studio. So I don't know how much this affects The Rock's other business ventures. Like, is he stretching himself even thinner, or does this merge the other stuff together? Like, does he still work with the XFL? Does he still run his own movie studio, or will he focus now primarily on the TKO venture and spanning the outlook of the WWE? Will his career focus be more WWE eccentric versus extracurricular activities? I think that's my biggest takeaway, because again, I don't work for Mad Money or MSNBC, but hell, I got 403Bs. I must know something about stock investment. So it's one of those things where I'm curious, but I don't think it hurts WWE in any way. It strengthens it. And it strengthens it, I think, in a better positive capacity. Because The Rock is a guy that you would want, I think, to represent your company. And now TKO have that for both the WWE and the UFC. It's a plus. If there's a bigger influence in the world of entertainment than Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I dare to name it. I don't think even Adam Sandler's stock goes that deep, even if he's been the guy directing his own studio and has his own venture in Netflix. At this point, I think The Rock's probably the most powerful man in all of Hollywood. Now he might be the most powerful man in the world of sports entertainment. Hi, Virtue.
What's going on, Virtue? Yeah, Josh isn't here tonight. He's just blowing up the other chat rooms.
Go figure. But yeah, overall, this has to be a plus. And representation is everything, even in the business world. You don't need to have a giant ego. You don't need to have poor Twitter behavior. You might need a 7 or 8 digit bank account. And now The Rock's part of a freaking 13-digit business venture. So it's extremely interesting to see what The Rock's influence on the board does, dictating the direction, the scope, the outlook of the WWE. I think that's the biggest change we don't know yet to happen.
That's fair. That's fair. Dattila popped in real quick. I know she's getting ready to do her own live recap. Hopefully she'll join us afterwards. Yeah, as far as The Rock being part of the board of directors, I think it's a interesting development because I believe, and I might be wrong here, tried doing the research while you guys were talking and couldn't find my answer, but I believe Ari Emanuel was already part of The Rock's management team.
Correct.
So by merging Dwayne onto the board of directors, you got to figure he's going to be able to still make whatever movie he wants to make, but also be able to have more free time for what brought him to the dance in the first place in professional wrestling, sports entertainment, you know. I completely agree with what Walter said there. I think we may be getting to a point where we get to see almost a seasonal Rock. You know, he'll go away, he'll do a movie for a few months, you know, maybe 6 months a year, do a couple of movies. Most movies usually film in about a 3-month span. Some go a little longer, some go a little shorter with reshoots and whatnot. And then we may get him in WWE for a 6-month span each year. You know, figure we'll get him probably Rumble to Mania for sure, just because that 3 to 4 month hype is always the most monumental. And then just stretch it back to Survivor Series since that's the show he debuted at. Then you're getting The Rock for 3 of the big 4 every year. Whether it's a wrestling capacity or just an on-screen figure, you know we're getting The Rock for 3 of the big 4. And I think that would be massive. Virtue clowning Walter for his American Nightmare shirt.
I had Punk on all night. When the stream came, I had to pay my respect that he won and go to wardrobe and switch.
Not me. I'm still repping my CM Punk.
Everybody knows I still love Punk. It's just my way of congratulating Cody.
I'm simple. I just wear a suit.
As he drinks his Gatorade, not Prime.
Don't have Prime.
Just for the record, Noah, Emmanuel texted her.
Damn it.
See if she's not too busy.
You just
Virtue says, but you've got a Roman shirt. You could have been acknowledging your tribal chief. You know what, Virtue? I think he saved that for the review tomorrow night with you.
If I'm on it, there's so many spots that get in it, so we'll see.
Yeah, for real. Make sure you guys tune in to the No DQ review tomorrow. I know they'll be talking a lot of these same topics, but a completely different panel. Virtue moderating, Aaron Rift, of course, and then who knows who else will be a part of it. I think Big G has to be part of it.
Yep.
Possibly Rhonda Shane again. Who knows who will be on the panel.
I honestly have 3 Roman shirts and a hoodie.
The No DQ review is like Forrest Gump and a box of chocolates. You never know who you're going to get, aside from Virtue and Aaron Rift.
Those are the
99.9% of the time, Walter's there too. That's how he got the reliable nickname.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm the NAF /MJF. I get there once in a quarter because of scheduling.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, this for The Rock could be that, for lack of a better term, that rainbow bridge that we've always been waiting for him to come back to wrestling, not necessarily full time, but more consistently than he has since he walked away almost 20 years ago.
That's fair. That's a very fair analysis.
Everyone is welcome on except for Josh Mansfield. Well, there you go.
Okay, I'm going to.
What about Stat Boy Virtue? Is Stat Boy welcome onto the show? You better watch what you say trying to defend Josh. You may blow your chance right now, man. Watch what you say. Is Stat Boy welcome on the show, Virtue? Because I know he's been waiting for a long time to make his no DQ debut. This is my brother from another mother. I've known this dude for almost 30 years. Yeah, really that long.
Respect. Anyway, excuse me.
But I mean, this is going to be huge for The Rock. Like I said, this could be that bridge that brings him back more often, and I'm all for it because from the moment that I started watching in the summer of '98, Rock was one of my guys.
That's fair.
Virtue says as long as he doesn't mark out for the dirt sheets, you're safe there. Half the time, Stat Boy doesn't even know what the dirt sheet writers are saying. So you're pretty safe there, Virtue.
Yeah, I mean, he's not zero dirt sheet like me, but I can attest with how long I've known these two, Virtue. You're good with him.
There you go. If he does read anything, he usually does read it on NoDQ.com.
Keep fun.
So, well, that basically covers the Rock TKO stuff then. We'll go ahead and take another quick break. We're blowing through this stuff, so hopefully we won't stay on the main event for too terribly long. But when we come back, we are going to discuss Vince McMahon's resignation. Virtue, if you would like to join us for this, put it in the chat room. I will send you the link in a DM, brother. You can make your open mic night debut tonight.
Come on board, brother.
Let me know, sir, and we'll be right back after this brief commercial message.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
All the wrestling, all the wrestling, all the wrestling, all the wrestling, all the professional wrestling. Damn it. And sports entertainment taking a very intriguing start to 2024, to say the least.
There we go. He didn't say anything in the chat room, but I did send Virtue the link if he would like to join us. So we will see if he opens the forbidden door and joins us.
Fair enough.
But it is now time for our main event, the topic that we have been dreading discussing all week. And if we're being honest, when the allegations first came out, and let me just reiterate, allegations. Nobody has been taken to trial yet. Nobody has been found guilty in a court of law yet. But when the allegations came out regarding Vince McMahon and the woman that used to be part of the staff, I'm not going to say her name, even though it's out there in the media. I'm going to give the victim privacy. I'm not going to be that guy. But ever since she accused him, we weren't going to address it. We were going to wait for everything to go forth in court, be settled before we spoke on it, because we don't want to be those people. But then, yesterday, Vince McMahon resigned from his post. Ironically, the timing of it seemed to be, somebody pointed out on social media, around the same time that the women were having their tag match. The news broke. If that's accurate, that's very interesting. Interesting timing. I can neither confirm nor deny that, so we'll just treat it as rumor and hearsay. But when Vince stepped down and resigned, I messaged Jeff while we were still on the air doing Simply Predicting, and was like, look, I know we weren't going to discuss it, but with his resignation, I feel like we must address it at this point. He agreed, and that's why he popped in yesterday, was because I told him that the chat room on your show was blowing up, and I didn't want it to get taken off focus. So that's why he popped in, so that he could direct traffic here tonight, divert, and just let the Royal Rumble and the predictions be the focus of last night.
Fair.
So I apologize for hijacking your show, but that's why I sent him the link and why he popped in.
I respect that, absolutely.
So we are not here to discuss innocence or guilt. We are not here to discuss the allegations brought forth on one Vincent Kennedy McMahon. What we are here to discuss tonight is the resignation of Vince McMahon from the TKO Board of Directors, the fact that for the first time since the 1950s, no McMahon has been in control of anything WWE related. Paul Levesque doesn't count because he's a Levesque. Yes, he's married to Stephanie, but his name isn't McMahon. She's a Levesque. And based off of what we saw with our presentation tonight, where do we see going forward for this? Sorry, I was distracted by Arlene, who said she can donate half to me and the other half to Jeff. That's perfectly fine, Arlene. I know Jeff will greatly appreciate that, because I know he's struggling this month to try to get to the threshold. I don't know where he is at monetarily, but I know that half to mine will put me over the top. Excuse me. So thank you, and approved.
Damn it.
Mikey, going to you first, sir.
I am very torn about this topic because of the allegations itself, the crime, if I even want to call it that. Some people will because they won't know all the story. Either way, this is now twice where Vince has stepped down. I'm sorry, Vince, 3 strikes and you should be done. Sports reference. I'm sorry. Okay. If you have to step down twice on any reason, one saying, oh, it's time for me to go, and then more allegations came up after that, and then this allegation stuff is happening again. And let's say you do clear your name. What's going to happen the third time? Are you just going to keep going and coming back and going and coming back and going and coming back? What kind of a business, what kind of a job allows you to do that regardless of your role? Okay? None that I can think of, unless the company is like extremely family private owned, other than WWE, like a family restaurant or something, and the dad says you're going to keep working no matter what, and then something happens, and then you go away and come back and go, you're tarnishing your legacy is what you're really doing, Mr. McMahon. I mean, this is not what you want to be remembered by. You want to be remembered as a wrestling promoter, as the guy that brought WrestleMania and Hulk Hogan and all the and business deals left and right. You do not want to be remembered as this dark shadow about a topic that is so touchy, you don't even want to say the terminology. Believe me, I don't. That's why that's why I struggle a little bit. I don't want to say I don't want to say the true terms of that stuff, because it's a hateful allegation. It's a touchy allegation. Okay. In a statement that he declared, he said, out of respect, I'm stepping down. Okay, that's admirable. And he wants to clear his name, which is admirable as well. If the truth out there is that he did not do any of this, by all means, preach that. Prove that you didn't do it. But again, in the court of public opinion, it's over, done, hang him up. I mean, come on. He'll have his day in court, or however it's going to be solved. Like if there's an investigation of some kind and they don't find anything, he should be able to state his piece. And then maybe in true McMahon fashion, they'll just sweep it under the rug like it never happened. But see, wrestling fans have intelligence. Journalists have intelligence. You're not just going to magically push a button and fire a super laser that's going to erase the story of Vince McMahon of being this horrible person. It doesn't work like that. This is not Men in Black. We don't have a neuralizer. Exactly. That technology does not exist. The Statue of Liberty is not going to fire out a super light and, ooh, who's Vince McMahon? It doesn't work that way. So, yeah, it doesn't work that way. Like I said, this better not happen again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, you're a moron. I'm sorry. And you're out. 3 strikes and you're out. That's it. Done.
Botch. Leave it to Stat Boy for the sports references. I said botch to myself when I noticed it.
Well,
I'm still getting over not feeling well, okay?
Yeah, I know.
I've been on the air now for what? Going on 8 hours? 7+, 7:15.
Yeah, the 7:15. You're 7:15.
So doing pretty darn good, all things considering, with all this talking.
Yeah, I respect.
But honestly, before I throw it over to Walter, I kind of agree with what Matthew says here, and I know he didn't super chat, but I think this is the best for WWE because WWE has outgrown Vince in his way. He's too old school mentality. He's too passe. Granted, we don't know the whole truth and may never know, but this very well could be for the betterment of TKO. And then you've also got to factor in what Ronda Rousey tweeted today.
Uh-oh.
And Ronda Rousey, man, I'm not going to say that she fired shots. She fired bazookas. She said, and I quote, and this is from Ronda's Twitter account.
Oh, Lord.
Bruce Pritchard is basically Vince's avatar. If he's still around, Vince still has a hand in the business. Vince was still running things through Bruce when he was gone before. Walter, do we need to just go through and completely clean house here and get rid of anybody that was connected to Vince? which by all logic would include Triple H. Or do we need to treat everyone on a, for lack of a better term, a probationary basis? Where if it smells like a duck, talks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a duck and you're the fuck gone?
I think it's the latter. Everyone is an individual. You can't lump them all into one thing. So Vince has resigned. I, for one, if I'm able to separate Chris Benoit, the human, from what he did, I can do it for Vince. Thank you for the years of entertainment, what you did to WWE, but it's time to take it in a new direction. Eventually, there's an old cliche, all good things come to an end. It's just the end of his legacy, and time to move on to the new millennium and see what WWE and TKO can do in the future. It's out with the old, in with the new. I'm not going to discuss the allegation part of it. Whatever happens, happens. Remember, people, before you jump on conclusions and everything, allegations is exactly what they are, allegations, because just being accused of something can destroy a name, whether it's true or not. Just the accusation alone. So I'm not going to pass judgment. That's for all the court cases and everything. That's what a judge literally does, passes judgment. So it's not for me to do it. So when he's gone and things, I always thought he was one. I said it plenty of times. There's some people on this earth that just have to work and have to work. They don't know what to do with themselves when they retire, and that's when they actually pass away, because they can't do anymore. They've been so used to always working. So I for one thought I wouldn't see this day. I thought he would be working forever and until he literally, the old cliche of wrestling, dropped dead in the ring, but in his office somewhere. So he's resigned. So be it. I can still say thanks for bringing all the memories you introduced Wrestlemania to us. We wouldn't be doing what we did if it wasn't him, regardless of how you personally feel about him. So all those people jumping on his back, remember what he brought to us. None of us would watch this product, or the industry as a whole would not be as big as it was if it wasn't for him. So try to remember that before you judge him for these allegations. So I'll say thank you for all the years of entertainment and for making something I love to watch what it is, regardless of the bad that came with it. So we'll see the results of these allegations after, but you don't need to clean house if you already if you cut the head off the snake already. Why do you need to keep chopping the rest of its body? The damn thing is dead. You don't need to clean house.
That's fair. That's fair. And to Nathan's point, that's the problem with everything these days. It's the court of public opinion that matters, not the court of justice. And it is sickening. Noah, you usually tend to put your sunglasses on, turn your chair, turn your lights off. It's things like this. I think Walter makes a very valid point in the fact that we need to separate Vince McMahon, the man that did these things behind closed doors, if he in fact did them. Let's not forget the just recent Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. Amber Heard brought all these allegations against Johnny Depp, most of which that were found not true in a court of law. And he's just now trying to rebuild his career and name after being dragged through the mud by him. But we need to make sure we separate that man from the man who bought the company off of his father for $1 million, had a vision of what sports entertainment could be. I know you're more of a pro wrestling guy, but ride with me here. As Jeff says, anything we've seen after January of '84 has been sports entertainment. Brought us Hulk Hogan, brought us Macho Man Randy Savage, birthed WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble that we called tonight. Hulkamania, Austin, The Rock. He saw something in a guy that was never going to get over in generic black trunks and boots and made him the hottest thing going in wrestling. He took Mean Mark Callis, one half of the Skyscrapers, The man who had a bit part in a Hogan movie, sounding all, "You're a dead man, Ramsey," and turned him into the phenom that we loved for 35 years almost. He took a guy who had $7 in his pocket when he was fired from the CFL and turned him into the most electrifying man in all of media. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, for all of his shortcomings, did a hell of a lot of good as well. People that we look up to, that we admire, that we love as in-ring technicians, high flyers, professional wrestlers, sports entertainers. Go ahead, Noah.
Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not to thy own understanding. I am not a lawyer. I am not judge, jury, executioner. I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of this business. If you can honor and still remember Chris Benoit for what he did in the ring, that's fine. If you can honor and respect the business acumen that Vincent McMahon did bringing this industry to the point it's at, that's fine. I was not born underneath the McMahon family. I was not born into this business. I am not a friend with this man on TikTok, on Snapchat, if he knows those exist, on the Twitter. I do not know Vince McMahon, but I am a guy raised on morals and value good character. But again, it is the perception of this day and age we live in, where anything you see on social media is text, but speaks so much more volume when you strictly go straight to the point and accuse or assume. The definition of assume is make an ass out of you and me. I am nobody to pass judgment on anyone in this world or on this plane of existence, and I refuse to be. The bottom line is this. There is evil in this world. There is good in this world. Toxicity breathes and spreads. Don't add to it. If you don't appreciate what you are hearing and interpreting, step away from it. Stop before you begin. I do not know Vince McMahon, but I know this about what I've seen from the business. He is legitimate about one thing, moral, corrupt, or not, and that's not for me to decide. He is business. Period. Simple as that. As personified on the Pat McAfee show. All I have to say is this. The fact that we are so exposed to the drama, to the evil, to the miscarriages, to the misdeeds, to the nuances and the unknowns of this world under every form of media. And here we are chastising one man out of insert number here, guilty of these crimes just because of what he is associated with for us is short sight. We are not part of the Supreme Court. We are not part of the justice system. We are nothing more but individuals with our own mindsets and our own opinions. I pass no judgment on Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I simply say this. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. Do right. And humanity be better. And at the end of the day, all I care about this business, I just want to enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. There's not one man that I simply do it because of it. And it sure as hell won't be the last I hear of a situation like this, accusing, even if it's found out later, committing. It will not be the first time, and it sure as hell won't be the last time I've heard something about this in this business. He just has to be one of the biggest wigs involved in it. If any, as long as social media and the internet and professional wrestling exists, and humanity and the abuse of free will exists, this is a constant. The only reason we bring this up is associated with what we love. But it shouldn't take the love of the business away from us. Vince, I pray to God you do right. And I pray for humanity to be better.
There it is. I mean, to both Walter and Noah's points, you cannot like the guy that may or may not have committed these heinous actions. But realistically speaking, how can a guy like me ever badmouth this guy right here? Who took a couple of moments from his busy schedule, trying to make sure that SummerSlam Access was ready to open up, to come over and pose for a couple of pictures. Especially after he overheard security telling us that he didn't have time for us. That was the smart businessman in Vince McMahon coming out going, I need to do damage control, not the stable on SmackDown. You know, how can I ever legitimately badmouth that guy? And two wrongs don't make a right. None of us are innocent of all wrongdoing.
Nope.
Everybody has done something wrong at some point in life, whether you got caught for it and punished or not.
I still
Guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's stealing a pack of gum, jaywalking, running a stop sign or a red light, everybody has done something wrong at some point.
No such thing as a perfect being on this plane of existence, only above and beyond. And he's the one that holds judgment at the end, whether you believe in that or not.
So, well, to try to bring the mood around a little bit, Noah.
What? JJ, why you
We
do
talked about this last night, bro. There's no need to kayfabe everybody. Not tonight, anyways. We talked last night. We knew how serious this talk was going to be. And you even agreed that singing something, if we got super chatted for it, to help liven the mood and lift spirits after that downer of a topic was something you were willing to do. Arlene called your bluff. She donated $26 instead of $25 because of what she needed to do to both channels.
This is where my morale bits me in the ass. Sometimes doing right is the toughest thing to do, but someone has to do it.
So while you look up the lyrics for Smoke and Mirrors, and are you going to mix it with Kingdom or just do Smoke and Mirrors straight up?
I'm not one to bring in a rip remix. I'll just freaking do Smoke and Mirrors for what it's worth.
All right. So while you
has had that
while you get ready for that, we did get a $10 super chat at the beginning of the evening from Emmanuel. You know, and something that he had mentioned last night too. So he says Vince let go again. Cody wins again. Is this Groundhog Day? Noah, give 5 positives about my NXT. And me with my best Vince voice. I'm going to try to do this with my voice being what it's been lately. Say, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, ye are fire.
That's pretty good, especially the fire. Oy vey.
There's my part. Now, 5 positives about my current NXT.
Damn. Okay, fine. The women's division has never looked more promising for a future outlook of women's wrestling in the WWE system. It has renewed life in previous lost souls on the main roster, particularly Baron Corbin. It has brought a new foundation of young, hungry, collegiate original athletes who want to get involved in this business, not born in it, to pursue this identity and lifelong pursuit of being a WWE superstar. Individuals like Dijak have been used to reinforce how bright the future looks with his redefined gimmick as the man delivers hard justice. And seeing him endorse this on even the Twitter goes to the value and merit of the potential in the talent and in that atmosphere that is NXT. The white and gold is not the black and gold, but it captures the same passion, aggressive, chaotic nature that brought me back to WWE in the first place, and feels like a whole different, lively environment. For the first time in the longest time, I value the NXT championships, particularly the men and the women's championships, held by Ilya Dragunov and Lyra Valkyria, who have fought their whole way through life to pursue this dream from across the pond to become WWE superstars and top names here and create a new life for themselves in this country. This NXT has done that for both. And the last one, Shawn Michaels took the torch from Triple H in what he started, reignited the flame, and made NXT matter again to the point you may want to even try and call it its own brand. It's that different of an ecosystem where you blur the lines between developmental and maybe a rising evolution.
Golly. And those are just a few of the positives about my NXT. Damn it.
You don't digress.
Hell no, I don't. Now if we can just get people like Statboy to actually start watching.
I'm working on it.
Last Tuesday was a hell of an NXT episode.
Yes, it was.
Unfortunately, I'm wrapping up Sports Bar on Tuesdays, and I have to have dinner and go to bed and get ready for work on Wednesday. So it's, yeah, bad excuse. I know. Never mind. Move on. Foot and mouth disease. No excuses.
There you go. Trick Williams, Braun Breaker, Carmelo, Axiom, Lexus Keane, Chase U, Tiffy Time, Roxanne, Cora, Nikita, Lyra, and Fallon all show the bright future of NXT and WWE have.
That I will agree with.
And SmackDown showed just how popular Trick Williams is.
Yep.
That trick. And again, we'll be covering Vengeance Day literally 1 week from today. Headlined by Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez, doing the show that she's unbreakable. She looks to once again become NXT Women's Champion. And Trick Williams finally looks to whoop that trick and claim the NXT Championship against Ilya Dragunov. But will we see Trick Mello game back in full swing, decked in golden accolades? And can they also win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic? That and so much more to be decided at NXT Vengeance Day.
And I got to call you on it, sir. Botch. A week from, well, I guess it would be today for you, but it's tomorrow for me.
Again, I'm Eastern. You're Western.
Well, by my time, it's botch. Damn it.
All right.
Not often we get to call you on one.
You just wanted to use the dang graphic.
I did.
He got to get it in where he can fit it in.
That's right.
Nah. Loophole.
I mean, it's not like I've been able to use this tonight.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Mikey!
He's actually been a good boy. I haven't been able to use it. And Josh isn't here for me to use.
Shut the fuck up, Josh! I drink the little orange Gatorade from the very clip.
That was a special one for Virtue.
I know. We ought to send that to Aaron so that him and Virtue can use that when he's on the air.
Big Virtue does his best to keep Josh Mansfield off the air, if we're being honest.
But that really wraps up the topics tonight.
Wow.
We're going to take another commercial. When we come back, we'll start hitting the plugs. If Jeff or Datilla manage to pop in while we're doing the plugs, well, they can chit-chat for a little bit. Noah, you've got your sound to scene. Hopefully you'll be ready to do that when we come back from this trailer. And we'll be right back after we show you what goes on a weekly basis over in Statboy Sports Bar.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Whoever wanted to come in keeps know their game. Well, the Jeff Beecham Network, Multiverse of Media, has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the Stat Boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeep's here. Keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa E18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.
Wow.
And we are back. You okay there, Noah?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Oy.
No, it's okay. It's only smoke and mirrors.
Shut it, Walter.
I think Noah would be fighting it more if it was anyone except his number one fan, Arlene. Like, even if it was her brother that did it, he'd be like, grumble, grumble, grumble.
Oh.
But Arlene, he's a little bit more willing.
Things I do for friends. All right, do your shows.
Well, before we get to the shills, let's go ahead and turn it over to you to give us our song. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure we'll be on Noah, That's What I Call Music Volume 2.
God!
Singing Smoke and Mirrors from one dashing Cody Rhodes. The Simple Man, Noah Foster.
Damn it, damn it, damn it. Let me see if I can find this freaking thing. Okay, I think I found it. Boy, I haven't heard this song in forever. Oh, yeah, Dallas, they did do this. Good Lord Almighty. Okay, this is done with me. Whoa, you're only smoking mirrors. Whoa, you're only smoking mirrors to me. There you go, face deep in the camera, microphone in hand. What you mad about? No one knows and no one cares. You think everyone's a fan. Man, this song is real old school. I forgot how slow this thing is. But everybody sees the future's here with me. They watch the wheels go round. They'll tear this ego down. Whoa, you're only smoking mirrors. Whoa, you're only smoking mirrors. Whoa, you're only smoking mirrors. Whoa, you're only smoking mirrors to me.
Very nice, Noah. Very nice.
Just think, Noah, Cody is such a nice guy that could go out on social media and he could see it. And the next thing you know, he could possibly be on the multiverse wanting to be interviewed.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, he's already planning on being somebody's best man at a wedding to a guy that he doesn't even know. Who knows what this guy can do?
Yeah. God bless Cody Rhodes and his level of kindness. There needs to be more souls like that. Arlene, you're welcome. All right, close this thing out. I'm ready to go to bed. I am tired.
I think all of us are, sir.
Yeah, Gum.
Well, want to thank everybody that has been with us for the almost 8 hours of insanity we've done today.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you follow the Cleveland Combatant on Twitter at Walking Hymnal, on Instagram at Mallowmangram. You can find our resident Big Baller on TikTok at BigBallerG1988, on Twitter, the Twix at NoDQ_BigBallerG, on Instagram and Threads at NoDQ_BigBallerG1988. You got Heather Reckless, Lena Cross, and Brooklyn Barlow all coming up for an autograph signing courtesy of Parker Kane Promotions here in the not-so-distant future. Check out our affiliate, Datilla, over on youtube.com/Rangers of Wrestling. She's actually live right now with her Rumble review. She may or may not be popping in here before we get off of the air, but she does Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, Dynamite reviews. She does Impact reviews with her friends at another channel, not on her channel. And she's been doing temporary NXT reviews up until the show next week. So check her out for all those. Let's see what. Before you call it a night, if Triple H didn't have a favorite first women's 5-star match.
First longest time, first women tag champions, etc. I think he's referring to Bailey, apparently.
Okay.
And you know, that's fair actually, because it was NXT TakeOver Brooklyn that again redefined women's wrestling in WWE. She is also the one that now has the longest time. She literally went coast to coast in the women's Royal Rumble practically. And she is part of the first women tag champions. Of course, winning those at, you guessed it, Elimination Chamber.
There you go. Walter, tell people where they can find you.
Well, thanks for having me up here again. And of course, you can follow me on the X at What Alex Cruz, where we're currently streaming this. Also on the Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel, and on the Instagram if you're into that kind of stuff. That you can see the symbol of my name there, Cal Fire Farms on the Instagram.
There you go. And I know you do UFC watch-alongs. When's your next one going to be for that, Walter?
UFC 300, which hasn't been announced yet. The main event hasn't been announced yet. So
when is that going to be?
They haven't exactly. Let me look it up real quick because they just made an announcement for it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, hang on. April 13th.
Okay. So April 13th, Walter will have his next watch along. Be the weekend after WrestleMania.
2 days before my wife's birthday.
God bless her.
Of course, you can find me on social media. Instagram, The Renegade JJ Williams. Twitter, ROWJJ Williams. YouTube, Casa D18 Studios. You can always join the members exclusive section of the Casa channel, where we do put exclusive content up. I acknowledge the fact that there hasn't been a lot of content going up there lately. Me and Noah are trying to work out what kind of stuff we want to present to you. We are kicking around the idea of putting up a certain Backlash match that'll be turning 20 years old this year. My favorite match in Backlash history. So we may take a look at that time where a Legend Kaler became a hardcore icon. And if you know, you know.
Whoa, the toll that he took.
We are also still working on the WrestleMania countdown. And Jeff is popping in the middle of the shills. What is up, Jeff? And Jeff is popping out.
Give him a moment.
We're still working on the WrestleMania countdown. We have acknowledged the fact that we're not going to be able to get all 40 filmed at this point with life and other things. So our mission now is to have 1 through 20 go live this year, and then 21 through 41 next year. Give us a little bit more time to get all that taken care of, but we will be counting down and watching along the first 20 WrestleMania. Hello, Jeff.
Hi, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hopefully we don't get copyright pinged for the music in the background.
I will mute while I'm not talking.
There you go. You came in at probably the worst possible time, sir. We're doing the shows and getting out of here at this point, so. You've missed all the talking about wrestling.
That's okay. The shows are important, and the kiddies are on their way down the lounge outside of the casino, so hopefully we can get them to say hi before we sign off for the night, but I doubt it's going to happen in 11 minutes, so we'll hope for it.
Well, we shall see. We shall see. So in addition to the WrestleMania coverage, of course, you can check me out daily as I do my wrestling recaps for each week. Mondays are usually the weekend shows. SmackDown, Rampage, Collision. Tuesday is Raw. Wednesday is NXT. Thursday is AEW. And Friday, for a limited time only, is Impact. There will be no show on Monday, as there's been no shows pretty much the entirety of the wrestling week, going back to last week's Raw. So figure I just wouldn't do that one. Even though I'm pretty much over my illness, things will resume on Tuesday with Raw. Jeff, talk to us a little bit about Talk Wrestling.
Well, yeah, let's talk about Talk Wrestling. So you can talk wrestling during the show. Yeah, we're back on regular schedule, hopefully Mondays at 7 for Pacific. We're going to be back to Q&A format going forward with Talk Wrestling. I figured that was a better way to go, and I know it's not exactly super chat friendly. I prefer if it is. If you're watching at home, kids, you prefer the super chats to come in, but it is what it is. I understand. You know, Mondays are a tough day, but I really enjoy the interaction of being to talk to and answer people's questions. So if that's the least chat heavy show of the day, a week, I understand. Again, I thank everybody who tuned in tonight. I know we had quite a bit of turnout throughout the premium live event, so thank you. I said it in text form in the comment, but congrats to Cody and Roman, I guess. I kind of feel like I'm going to get shortchanged a lot on April 7th because now I have to face reality that they probably will have Cody switch the title here this year instead of when it should have happened last year. So I'm low-key pissed off, but I'm up here with my girls and the kitty crew, so I'm not going to be mad.
All right. Stat Boy.
Follow me on the Twitter at LBStatKid1977. Follow Dory Lou at Hathaway Lou. Follow us on Instagram at Dory Lou and Statboy13. Like I said earlier, Statboy's work is never done because the weekend is upon us. Tomorrow are the championship games in both conferences as the Ravens take on the oh gosh, I'm just so out of it. The Ravens take on the Chiefs and the Lions take on the 49ers. The winners go on to the Super Bowl. So keep an eye out on social media and in private chats for that. Also, we're getting ready to preview the 2024 NASCAR season, which starts next week with the Clash at the Coliseum going into the Daytona 500. Lots more basketball news, lots more hockey news. The Australian Open ends this weekend. Oh my gosh! Like I said, a stat boy's work is never done. It's like what is this nap that I've heard of that's so elusive that your mind just shuts down? I have no idea what that is, but keep an eye out Tuesday at 6:00 as we go into the sports bar and give you all the world on sports again. Thank you to my family. I had a great time doing the Rumble, but the work is not done because I have to add in the 2024 stuff and maybe even clean up even more and maybe go all Rumbles. Who knows? It was a blast. And I look forward to the next one in a year's time.
There you go.
Well, we know Jeff's not allowed to do naps because every time he takes one,
I'm not allowed to
news
nap
happens.
this week. No, I'm not allowed to nap during WrestleMania season. Clearly, no more of those.
Mikey, you said Tuesday at 6:00. Is that Eastern or Pacific?
6:00 Eastern, 3:00 Pacific.
There you go. Because you do have fans on the West Coast, so don't want to confuse them.
I have fans.
Producer man over here on the West Coast going to show up at 6:00 Pacific, 9:00 Eastern, wondering where the hell y'all are at. So you might be specific. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Follow the Greg Cherry brand across their socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at the Greg Cherry brand. Make sure you check them out. 4:00 Pacific, 7:00 Eastern every Wednesday. I'm sure he'll have the results of his Royal Rumble draw this week, as well as some of his normal shenanigans. Hopefully we'll get some weird state laws or something. Yes, Jeff.
It's the first normal show in like 3 weeks, so we're actually excited about it.
There you go. Go ahead and stay unmuted, Jeff. Talk about Meech's musings.
Yeah, musings. It's going to be an interesting week. It's been a much better end of week than I've had the rest of the month. So hopefully we'll have some more good vibes, good energy. We got a lot of cool people with us here in the 24-hour lounge, so it'll be good to talk about everybody and be around everybody here for the rest of the night. And again, I appreciate the team holding down the fort. Yeah, music's going to be probably going to be one of those let's talk about whatever shows, kind of like Great Cherry Show. We'll see how things play out Thursday. We might even do a show Thursday. It's kind of one of those, each music's kind of like, it'll happen, maybe not, depends what happens in the news. It only didn't happen this week because I was so overwhelmed by the toxicity on the Twitter, so that's why it didn't happen this week. But this coming week, we'll see.
There you go. Fair enough. Make sure you follow our buddy, the Heebman, James Hebert, on Facebook, James Heebman Hebert, on Twitter and YouTube, JHebertSide95. Noah.
Follow me if you choose on the Twitter and on YouTube. And then Foster1916 for all things wrestling, all things wrestling with the HC Review Impromptu. And of course, all things City Predicting in all things wrestling. As of course, City Predicting will be back this Friday. Pocket in 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we simply predict NXT Vengeance Day. So stay tuned for more on that. Again, the Sybil takes are on hiatus for now, but I might do something simply put soon enough on a weekly basis if I reach milestone subscriber goals, since I guess the goal this year is to try and get me monetized. We'll see what happens. I'm willing to put in the work, but y'all got to do your fair share too. If I reach 400, I'll start doing weekly reviews for some of the weekly shows, call them Simply Put. And me and DJ at some point will bring back the Sybil takes. They're just on hiatus for now. But of course, my YouTube is where for now you can keep up with all the leagues I host, all the forums, and give your own simple assessment, all the biggest shows, of course, we cover here at the Jet Beach Network Multiverse. Again, all simply underneath Ben Foster 1916. For again, why do I do this? Because I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it, who's always here to encourage you. There are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. Just fans with a penis with this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It truly is as simple as that. And this has been a hell of a kickoff to WWE's PLE Cycle 2024, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we shouldn't do a simple take for the Rumble, possibly Tuesday night before my NXT, because I know you don't usually watch anyways.
Nah, again, your NXT fan would just be, but I don't watch it I still don't watch weekly WWE content. I keep up with highlights, but I have no problem doing a simple take for one of the big four WWE shows, especially with how Triple H has kicked off this cycle. I have no problem doing that. If you want to do that Tuesday night, I am definitely down for that.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you know Monday morning how I'm feeling, because I'm going to be doing my Tuesday show probably regardless.
Exactly.
And if I'm feeling good enough, then we'll make it official.
Sounds good, but like I said,
we'll send it to Jeff.
Yeah.
And he can put the announcement on Talk Wrestling that day. So
priorities for passions, and again, don't burn yourself out, brother. But yeah, play it by ear.
Absolutely not. And you're simply put, I like that. If you're going to review weekly shows, you've definitely got to review Impact. I feel not enough people review Impact, and we could definitely get that shared amongst some of the other channels and whatnot.
We'll see. Well, absolutely.
We can't hear whoever Jeff has got popping in because he's muted, so we still can't.
This is Jenna's sister, Catherine. Jenna, the kitties are on their way if we want to hold out for like 2 more minutes.
We're trying. We'll see what happens.
Oh, nice to meet her.
Yeah.
She's pretty.
So yeah, I mean, definitely got to make Impact one of the things that you review, because there's not enough coverage for TNA. Even Datilla doesn't do that on her channel. So if you do it, stream it across to my channel, then I don't feel like I've got to do it every Friday as well. Not that I may not want to, but I could always just rebroadcast it on Friday and not have to worry about it, and just actually enjoy watching a show one day a week.
Well, like I said,
what a concept.
I figure, got to give the people what they want. But again, if I'm going to put in the work, they got to put in the work too. I'm up to 350 something. So tell you what, if I get 375, simply put, TNA Impact will become official on a weekly basis across your and my channel.
There we
and
go.
There's also an idea. Go ahead, Jay.
If he's at 357 now, getting to 375 by Vengeance Day next week should be no problem. Easy peasy.
I don't know that quick.
And you know what? That's really not that much. It's 20 subscribers roughly.
We'll see.
If there are 18 people right now watching the show, if you 18 people are not currently subscribed to Noah's channel, then go to Noah's channel. You can find his YouTube channel at nfoster1916. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell. Be alerted whenever he goes live with his ATW View impromptus or his bracketologies or any of those other things. We're now at 20 people. If those 20 people that are watching subscribe again to nfoster1916, your count goes to 375.
And boom, there you go.
All right, we'll see. And yes, as Walter was trying to say, as I'm trying to also, of course, help streaming his channel, me and him might start doing something called Simply Reliable, and the outlook of that content will be based on what he describes. I'm also thinking about maybe doing some specials once a month, like with Jerry Slaughter, something simple and general. We might just come together on the top and have a general conversation, but it all comes down to his schedule. And my Horsemen of predictions are looking to get on the summit again outside SummerSlam to see what we think so far of the industry this year. And like you alluded to, I usually do review impromptus recorded. Who knows? They might become a live thing. Me and King had a great time on the last episode. The thumbnail doesn't give you any idea of the energy. So who knows what this year might bring for me and what I might do for the Simple brand. It may evolve. It may stay the same. Only time will tell.
Yeah, Noah and I have been kicking around some ideas, but we're trying to work out some kinks before we present it to Jeff and Noah. Jeff and JJ.
There you go. Make sure you be on the lookout for Noah. That's what I call music. Noah, that's what I call slow jam.
Yeah.
And Noah, that's what I call Disney. And tonight we had a sample of what could possibly be the first track of Noah, That's What I Call Music, Volume 2.
And you just soured my mood. Damn it.
No, I didn't.
Maybe not. It's only smoke and mirrors anyway, Jay.
Daggone it!
Hey, I used that joke already, Jeff.
I wasn't here. It doesn't count.
Make sure you guys follow our buddy Gino Rivera, the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia. You can find him on Instagram and Twitter at Gina Told You So. Facebook, first name Gino, last name Told You So. If you would like to book him for appearances or interviews, Gino_Rivera at yahoo.com. I see Jeff is moving the camera, so he must finally be getting kitty appearances.
Say hi to my audience. We're signing off. It's Jenna.
Hi, Jenna.
You guys fucking killed it tonight, girl. Best show I've seen them outside of the Commerce Center. I love it. Look at it, so good. Mwah. All right. Okay, we can sign off now.
Well,
be safe out there.
Of course. Hey, I've got people that are staying sober, and I got people safe around me. I'm good to go, guys. I haven't had a drink yet, so.
All right.
Keyword yet.
Keyword yet. We're signing off.
You don't have to be that safe because what happens in Vegas
goes on YouTube. That's right.
That's right, because he's in Vegas right now, and it's on YouTube. So you know.
Imagine how that works.
Good Lord Almighty.
All right, kids.
Drink one for me.
Of course.
All right. Well, that does just about wrap things up for this shorter than normal open mic night. Thank God.
Yeah.
No. Come on, Noah. Do it right. Yeah.
All right. I'm still awake enough to do it.
Yeah.
JJ, you know it's short when Fat Boy makes it to the shills.
That's fair.
Accurate.
So for the West Coast professor who just bounced out, for the Cleveland combatant who did join us for a short earlier this evening, for the Stat Boy Mike, for Walter, for the Simple Man with the spectacular voice, I am of course your host and moderator, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Thanking you all for joining us and tuning in with us today across this 8-hour span. And until Vengeance Day next weekend, we will see you guys next time.
Have a good night, folks, and you're welcome, Arlene.
Stat Boy out.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.